Let's move on, though, Parker, to the final game that we're going to break down here for our preview of Week 17. And this is a big one here. This is unlike the previous two. I actually believe this game is not happening at the right moment based on what one of these teams has done in their last 3
Agreed.
weeks.
It doesn't super matter. But let's tell them what it is first.
Right? Yeah. If you haven't figured out already, we're talking about obviously Arizona going on the road to Jerry World to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Still, regardless of what the Cardinals have put on the field the last 3 weeks, just an absolute great matchup here with Kyler going against Dak. The Arizona offense, which can be incredibly explosive at times, going against the so-called great defense of the Cowboys. We'll get into that later. I want to hear your take on this game first, Parker. You go first, and I'll come in after you.
All right. Well, this is huge for the Cardinals and almost a throwaway game for Dallas, to be honest. I understand that they're fully in the running for the 1 seed and they would like this win, but they under no circumstance need it. They clinched the NFC East. They're not well coached enough to do this, but honestly, if I were them, I would rest starters because of how top heavy the NFC is. They're going to have a easier wild card game, and they can just roll their wild card game and be prepped for divisional if they play this right. That said, I understand them wanting to win this, and if Green Bay takes an unfortunate loss at some point, it's not going to be this week, but maybe next week, they could try to squeak into that 1 seed because of their conference record, or rather their divisional record. That said, Arizona has lost 3 in a row, including a loss to the Lions that was horrendous, and they've lost 5 of their last 8, and I'm terrified of what I'm seeing as someone who has believed in the Cardinals since before the season. I believed in them during the preseason. And people said I was crazy, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in our last segment. But Kliff Kingsbury needs to go. I need this man out of Arizona right now. I am not.
Wait. Kliff Kingsbury needs to go?
Yes, I heard it.
Needs to go.
Yes, he needs to be gone.
All right, please explain. Please explain.
There was a statistic this morning. I should have written it down. I was watching some content. I believe it was First Take. I was watching some content, and throughout his entire 9-year career as a coach, Kliff Kingsbury is around 67% winning through his first 7 games of the season. Through his final games of a season, through whatever the remainder of the season is, he is somewhere around a 70% loss percentage. So this is just what he does. He is either good or mediocre at the beginning of the year, and then something about his coaching method lets a team get full of itself and they plummet off a cliff. And that is exactly what we've seen since he's been the coach in Arizona. They've been okay to good at the beginning of a year, or they've been bad at the beginning of the year and they've just stayed bad. That's also a possibility. I don't see anything that Kliff Kingsbury is adding to this team. I honestly think that it might have been Kyler beating these teams and the defense beating these teams, not Kliff.
Oh, okay, so Kyler is a certified MVP candidate up until obviously up until that Lions loss.
Yes.
Arizona was the number 1 seed for quite a while. Obviously Kyler got injured, and now D-Hop is injured, and that's obviously been a huge killer for their offense. So all that being said, Arizona they were solid last year, and then Kyler got hurt as well last year, and then they just kind of fizzled out, and I don't even think they made the playoffs this year. And then this year they are going to
clinch playoffs.
They've clinched playoffs, and it's just depending on where they're going to end up. And you, my friend, want to send Kliff Kingsbury to the curb?
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt.
We've seen improvement each year, and we want to send Kliff Kingsbury to the curb because
I want to send him to jail. I want him as far away from this as possible.
You want to get rid of him because he unfortunately has lost a lot of games in the second half of the seasons that he's coached.
So, yes.
Even though he's coached the Arizona for 2 years, that's it.
Yes,
2 or 3 years.
Yes. My explanation is basically, I've talked about this a lot this year with HQI. When you see teams playing down to their opponents, and when you see them overestimating their own ability, that is a flaw that points directly at coaching, and that is a head coach's problem to deal with.
All right, fair enough.
And that tells me you cannot lose. Every single team that has lost to the Lions this season has been overzealous. It has been a win that, relatively speaking, we did not see coming. because the Lions they're no longer the worst team in football. It's now probably the Giants, but they are awful. They're probably the worst roster in football. They were abysmal, and now they have 3.5 wins on the year, and one of them is from the team that I thought was going to the Super Bowl. And the thing that we both said was the potential to hold them back with this explosive offense and a solid defense was Kliff Kingsbury, and I think he has proven that he is what is holding them back. Now,
okay,
I gotta finally talk about the Cowboys. Oh, go ahead.
Well, let me ask you one quick question that just came off the top of my mind, which I think you'll really like. So, hypothetical question here: if you were to put Kliff Kingsbury as Detroit's head coach and Dan Campbell as Arizona's head coach,
Arizona wins the Super Bowl.
Arizona wins that's what you're saying?
I genuinely, I feel so strongly about this.
I know I do. I know you do. That's why I asked you the question.
I genuinely think that if Dan Campbell is given 3 years, and I don't think he needs control. I don't know how he would be as a GM. I don't know how he is as a scout. But I know as a coach, if you get that man some solid coordinators and you build let's say the roster that Stafford and Megatron had the year that they lost their playoff game.
Right. Yeah.
I say you give him that quality of a team and he can get to the divisional round or better. I think Dan Campbell, I think coaches that can inspire a team that much, because that is a bad team that does not know they are bad. They are playing like every single game is a playoff game for them. And I respect that so much. If you put Dan Campbell on the on the Cardinals right now, I think the Cardinals go to the Super Bowl.
Really? Okay. So
I think they have a solid shot to win it against this great
for people who are just listening. I'm currently on the screen right now. I'm writing this down. You can bookmark it. Listen, for everyone who just heard that take, Parker just said that Dan Campbell, if he were head coach of this year's Arizona Cardinals team, would go to the Super Bowl. Am I correct?
I will put this right now. Yeah, I will put this on recording. I want this on my tombstone. Dan Campbell is a better coach than Kliff Kingsbury. Period.
Okay.
End of story.
Period. It is official. It's in the book.
Year, I might eat this.
This is perfect. This is perfect because literally for this episode we're talking about some of our best and worst takes. We can just immediately if we're here next year, we can just put this. Oh, we're already putting the hot take in the book.
You're gonna have this clip ready. You're gonna have those little speaker buttons.
For sure. I'm already preparing. I'm already preparing for next year's Parker's roast session. Parker's roast session for talking about Dan Campbell as a top whatever head coach in this league. I'll let you go on now. I'll let you go on.